Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a special day because it's my birthday, and a good friend of mine, Uma, has given me the keys to his lovely 5.2 litre V10 Audi R8 Plus. So yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting day really, because I'm really excited to have this as a birthday present and go out and drive it for the best part of the day. And yeah, you really get to feel like, you know, what a supercar's like, because I don't really get the chance to go out in many supercars. And yeah, I just want to see what this is all about. So this Audi R8 V10 Plus, this one is finished off in like a silver. It does look white in, like say, the pictures and probably even in this video, but it is like a silver. I think the closest thing for you BMW fans out there is that it looks like a bit like the Hockenheim silver. There's quite a few different flecks of white and silver mixed together, and it is quite a nice color, and it really complements the carbon that's all around the car. So for example, the carbon spoiler on the rear, this is a fixed feature on the V10. You got the carbon side blade, and then you got various bits of carbon around the rear, the carbon diffuser, and then you've got some carbon splitters around the front, and also the carbon wing mirrors. The car has then got a Maxton kit installed, so a Maxton splitter, Maxton side skirts, and some Maxton winglets on the rear. In my opinion, I think the Audi R8 is such a class design. It just looks striking from pretty much every angle. So just for the record guys, I am so excited to be driving this R8. The sound of this car, that V10, I mean, I've driven so many cars which are like turbocharged, supercharged, but honestly the soundtrack of a naturally aspirated V10, that is something else. I mean, this thing revs all the way to like 8,800, I think, looking at the rev counter down there, and it just sings, you know. It's like I've not experienced anything like this before. I've been driving this car pretty much all morning, and honestly this thing is just unbelievable. I always thought that naturally aspirated cars are gonna feel a little bit sluggish compared to modern turbos and supercharged cars, but the throttle response on this is so sharp. Of course, this is like, you know, you're kind of like a 5.2 litre Lamborghini derived engine, so it ain't gonna be no slouch, but this thing is something else. I'm just driving the car at the moment in dynamic mode, in the way the car should be driven. The gearbox is in its own sort of sports setting, so it's changing the gears itself. I'm going to stick it to the flappy paddle mode to get the full experience. The power on tap and the way this car is all set up is so good. This has also got the carbon ceramic brakes, and they really stop on the dime. Really sharp those brakes are. And of course this has got the S-tronic gearbox as well, which I think they all come with that anyway. You wouldn't really want to have it in any other way really on this setup. And the gear changes, you know, they're so ferocious. And the excitement that you get every time you just plodding along, and the way the gears change, the sound it makes on the downshifts, you get that real nice blip as well. I mean, I've driven some real fast cars on the channel and outside the channel as well, but this is a great package. On the wheel of this R8, I really find it quite special, and a lot of that specialness comes from this steering wheel. And what I like about it is all the controls are on the steering. So, you know, you've got the start and stop button here, you've got the drive select button over here, you've got a race button, I think it's a checkered flag, which takes off the traction control, and then you've also got a button here where you can just, you know, switch on and off the loud exhaust pipe. So everything is in the palm of your hands, and you don't have to go to a center console or into different menus like you do in some cars. And then you've got the driver's display, which is all virtual cockpit as well. I have said to you, Uma, in your RSQ8 vid, that I'm not a fan of the virtual cockpit. I prefer analog dials, but I think in a supercar, I think they go quite nice and they go quite well as well. It just gives you that more of a supercar feel. And Audis definitely do like the best cockpit view, and the virtual cockpit, I think is what it's called. I think they are like the king of the business at the moment. One thing I noticed with this is the handling on this thing is so damn sharp. It would probably outhandle a housefly. And the cool thing about this is it is a real head turner, and I'm not sure whether it's the way this car has been set off, like with the paintwork and the carbon bits all around it, but everyone just looks at this and, you know, that, not in a bad way either, like, oh, look at him, he's a show off or anything like that. Nothing like that. It is like, it's quite an elegant design being an Audi. But this, like I said, it's a complete package. It is pretty much a supercar that you can probably drive on a daily basis. And the reason I say that is, yes, right now I'm in dynamic mode and it's quite loud and whatnot, but let me just put this car into comfort. The sports exhaust quietens down, the dampers become quite soft, you have no issues going over speed bumps in this, and yeah, it just becomes quite a nice comfortable place to drive and sit in. The only thing is, obviously, being a 5.2 litre V10 engine, you know, it's not going to be great on economy and on fuel, but, you know, that's a choice thing really, isn't it? But if you really want to have a supercar that you can drive every day, this is probably it. V10 engine has such a blissful tune, and it's just so rev happy. I mean, like I say, the car revs all the way to 8,800 RPM, and after 5,000 RPM the car comes alive. You know, like modern cars, that you get a lot of that power low down, so you don't feel like revving them out as much, but this thing, you want to rev it out just so that you want to hit that engine. My throat's going right now, but honestly, like, the tune that engine produces, you want to just rev it out, and at each kind of 1,000 RPM the tune keeps changing, and it's just look at the way that thing handles. It's just so beautiful. So when I talk about this car being like a daily supercar, it really is. I mean, these seats, although they are Recaro and they feel like a shell bucket, they are quite comfortable as well. I mean, I've been driving this car the best part of the day over, you know, country lanes, over dual carriageways, over city roads, you know, which are like pitted with like potholes and whatnot, and they do a really good job of supporting you. I seriously have not got out of the car with a bad back, and occasionally I do have like bad backs coming out of, like, say, my M4. Thank you, Matt, for letting me take your R8 V10 Plus out for a drive today. This engine in itself, the 5.2 V10, it is Lamborghini derived. It has 610 horsepower. It has roughly that much newton meters of torque as well. I'll drop in the right figure down here somewhere. Honestly, that engine is something. That's what makes this car special. I mean, you can get one of these in a V8 as well, but you won't get that soundtrack. The ride is on the firm side when you've got it in, like, say, the full attack mode, like dynamic, but you can stick into an individual mode, so you can have, like, say, the higher power from the engine and comfort settings on the damping. So yeah, you can really tailor this car to exactly how you want. And as I say, it's a daily supercar, isn't it? So guys, I'm going to end the vid here. I want to go and enjoy this car outside of this vlog, and, you know, huge shout out to my mate Uma, who has made my day for letting me drive his pride and joy. And hopefully guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.